Hi everyone, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to be learning about display property. In our previous HTML and Paintshell, we saw two ways elements display, which are block level elements and inline level elements. So let's just quickly go back to it. So we have a div right here. We give the div a class name of block and say block level block level elements, and we have another div that says inline level elements. So I'll not use a div, I'll use a span to do this. So say class inline level elements. All right, so block level elements are element that takes up the full width of the screen, even without having the need, when there is no need for it, even when they don't need it. While inline level elements takes up the elements that takes up the space that is required. So if I style this in CSS, it is going to take up the entire width. So if I give this a background color of say red, I'm going to have it spread out all over the screen like this. So I'm sure we still remember how this works. So a block level element always takes up the full width available on the screen. It takes up the entire space, while inline level element takes up only the space required. So let's call our inline elements, say background color purple. Now, by doing this, we are going to have just the space needed to write that text, like so. And we have few examples of block and inline: paragraph, div, section, header, footer, nav, and quite a lot. And for inline level elements, we have span, we have the anchor tag, we have the ing tag, and a few others. But we are not dwelling on these guys today because we already talked about them in HTML and Paintshell. So today we're going to learn about a few other display property. We have say we have another div right here. So let's give this div a class of say none, and this is none. Now, the display property in CSS has so many values. We can have block. We can make an element display in block. We can make it display inline. We can have none, which I'll please talk about. We also have visibility hidden. We also have flex. We have grid. We have so many ways we can display our elements. But let's just check out these two the value quickly. So I have none right here, and I say display none. Now I'll give this a background color of blue, and let's see what happens on our browser. Now display none would only hide the elements as though it is not there. It's going to treat the layout as though there is nothing there, but the element is there. So once we start treating or learning JavaScript, we will see an example of how we can show and hide elements. So we basically just hide this element, which is none, by simply using display none, but it doesn't mean that the element is not there. So I could just change this to block, and my element is going to show like so. So you can see that I displayed exactly where it should. All right, so we also have visibility hidden. Now, this property is similar to display none, but the difference is that once you set once you add this property to an element, the elements would only be hidden and the layout would be affected. So it will only hide the elements and it will still take up the space as before. So let's see this in our browser, and of course it's going to stay hidden. Okay, so I also want to mention something. We spoke about block and inline level elements. We can override the display of a block level element to display as inline and vice versa. Say we have a div, or we could even use this one. We could use this guy here. So let's just change the display inline block. So it is going to display as an inline level element. Now note that. So you can see that this guy right here is displaying as an inline level element. So it is not taking the entire space, the entire width available. It is just taking the space required. But this does not change its original state. Now this element display as an inline level element. It doesn't mean that we can now add some elements to it to make it now making a block level element display as an inline level element does not change that element. So for the fact that we change it to an inline element, it is only displaying as an inline level element. It does not change the fact that a div is a block level element. So please, let's note that. All right, so subsequently, we are going to explore more display property, more values that can be used for display property. We have grid, we have flex, and a whole lot. All right, I hope this was really easy to understand, and I will see you guys in the next video. Happy coding. Bye.